Hi, hello there. How you doing? What's going on? What's up, fella? Not much, just hanging out. What you doing? Good to see you. Wow, it's been a while. What have you been up to? Just a bunch of various greetings that I could think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there are many more, but that's just what I can think of at the moment. Welcome to another episode of Mouth Dancing with your host, Young. This is episode number 89. 89 is a pretty high number. If you're good at math, you know that. And even if you're not good at math, you might know that. Just being able to deduce that. It's a pretty high number, right? After that is 90, and then soon after that is 100, which is a lot. You know, even counting to 100 is kind of a laborious task. It takes a lot of time. I don't know how long that takes. I guess it depends on how fast you're counting, right? If you're counting really slowly, it could take ages. If you're counting really fast, it could be pretty fast. But if you're counting like at a normal speed, that's a pretty long time, you know? Probably takes like a minute or two, right? Anyway, I've talked about fighting animals before on this podcast, but I was just talking about regular people, right? People who aren't trained fighters or martial artists, you know, trying to fight like a goat or a bear or something. You know, this person would probably get their ass kicked because animals are really strong. I think humans are among the weakest mammals, probably. I mean, in terms of like bigger mammals. If we're talking a tiny mammal, of course a human's stronger, but I'm talking about like, you know, anything that's close to our size or even a little bit smaller. Pretty much most of those animals could kick our asses because they're just strong. Animals are tough. And I was thinking the other day though, what about if you get like not just a regular dude off the street or a woman off the street, but what if you got an MMA fighter who's trained in fighting? Do you think an MMA fighter versus a full-grown chimpanzee would be a good fight? Like, do you think the human could take the chimpanzee? From what I've heard, chimpanzees are like, a full-grown chimpanzee is like 3 or 4 times stronger than a full-grown adult person, you know? They could just seriously just rip us apart with their strength. And they're pretty agile too. I mean, they're not trained in fighting necessarily, but they're just built for it naturally because there's a lot of competition for resources and females or whatever. And, you know, jockeying for position among the troop. So I bet that would be a pretty good fight. But in the end, I think a chimpanzee would still probably win. If it was enraged, and if it was scared for its life, and it was fighting a human that's trying to kill it, or beat it up really badly, I think the chimpanzee would just go berserk and shred the person to death. And the chimpanzee wouldn't stop at just injuring the person, you know, or knocking them out. Probably maul the person to death completely. Because they're not fucking around. They're not like worried about morals or murder or whatever. They're just thinking, I need to save myself. I need to survive. And in order to do that, I probably need to kill this person. And they'll do it without any hesitation too. I mean, an MMA fighter might be able to get in some good blows. Maybe if the MMA fighter knocked the chimpanzee out pretty quickly, the MMA fighter would win. But if the MMA fighter didn't manage to do that, I think the chimpanzee would really fuck that person up. Probably rip that person's freaking head off. Remember a while back, this was like maybe 20 years ago, there was this person in Connecticut who was keeping a pet chimpanzee. And, you know, it was pretty nice until it hit puberty, and then one day it just ripped this woman's face off. Literally ripped her freaking face off of her head. That's how powerful chimpanzees are. Yeah, I would not fuck with a chimpanzee. And if I had to, I would hope I would be very well trained in MMA or something. And even then, there's a really good chance the chimpanzee would win. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Another thing I was thinking about is dog shit versus cat shit. You ever see people say that something is dog shit when they don't like it? They're like, that's dog shit. I've seen it on the internet a lot. When someone's disparaging something, they say it's dog shit. But something I don't really see very often is cat shit. That's never really used as like a pejorative, is it? Why not? Is cat shit any better than dog shit somehow? And dog is often used as like an insult, right? That person's a dog, that person's a mutt, that person's a cur, that person's behaving like a dog. There's like a lot of negative associations with that, like it's often used as an insult, right? Dog. But not cat. I think that's unfair. You know what you can get from cat shit? Is Toxoplasma gondii. Have you ever heard of this? It's this parasite that comes from rats. And some cats have it and it's in their shit. And humans can get it from their pet cat if they huff their cat's litter. You know? Like the dust from their cat litter could have this parasite in it. It could get into your body. And then it makes you go towards your cat. Because this parasite is something that infects a rat's brain and makes it actually commit suicide by going towards cats and then getting killed and eaten. So if this parasite infects a human brain, it makes you love your cat and be obsessed with it like more than normal. And yeah, that's what cat shit can have in it. I've never heard of anything like that in dog shit. So why the inequality here? Why the imbalance? Why is dog shit maligned so much more than cat shit? Why does it have so many negative connotations? And you know, maybe it's because people step in dog shit sometimes and they have unpleasant memories associated with it. But I don't know, I mean, cat litter is not that great either. It smells pretty bad in my opinion. And cat litter the stench can really fill up an entire house. I've been in houses where it just smelled like cat poop pretty much. And yeah, cat litter is just I'm not a fan of it. I don't like having that in my house. I'd rather just clean up my dog's poop outside and throw it away than have it inside my house all the time. That's just a matter of personal preference though. Maybe some people would prefer not to have to pick up their dog's crap and then would prefer that the cat just poops inside of a box in their house. Either way, you know, it's shit is shit. There's nothing good about it, you know, except that, I don't know, I guess it's natural and keeps the ecosystem in balance. There's like things that eat shit, you know, like bacteria and insects and other organisms. But generally speaking, no one likes poop. So dog shit is not any worse than cat shit. So I suggest we start also saying something is cat shit if we don't like it, just to be fair. Next, let's talk about spicy foods. Do you like spicy food? I know some people are really averse to it. Like if they eat it, they're just like, this is too spicy. You know, anything spicier than like black pepper on their food is too much for them. And they just don't even try to eat it. I'm personally a big fan of it though. It makes me sweat like crazy, so I prefer to eat it in the privacy of my own home. But it gives you an endorphin rush, right, when you eat spicy foods? There are people who can eat like insane amounts of it. I've seen these competitions on Japanese TV where they're eating like the spiciest ramen you can imagine. Every ingredient is made of just like pure red pepper almost. And when you see the dish, it's like bright red, and it's got peppers in it, whole peppers in it too. And have these competitions where people eat them on TV. It's kind of like those Hot Ones videos on YouTube where people are eating spicy chicken wings with hot sauce. It's like that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure these Japanese shows are actually older than the Hot Ones videos too. Another thing that Western media ripped off from Japanese TV or Asian TV. Even though people generally say Asians are the ones who are always copying people, which is not true. The West copies Asia all the time. Anyway, that's besides the point. Talking about spicy food. I think it's got a lot of nutrients in it too. And one thing you gotta be careful with though is, when it comes out the other end, it can be kind of burning, like it can burn your butthole. And that's quite a crazy sensation. I wonder what the purpose of spicy food is though. I think it helps kill germs probably, and I think there's a lot of nutrients in it, and it makes your blood flow good. But yeah, I wonder why some people don't like it. It's like they just can't eat it. Tends to be white people. I don't know if that's racist or not, but tends to be white people who don't really like spicy foods. And among Asian countries, Japan eats the least spicy food compared to Korea or China or Thailand. But even in Korea, it's like, you're not born liking spicy food, right? Like babies can't eat kimchi, it's too spicy for them. So what a lot of parents do is they dunk it in water to get all the spice off. Or not all of it, but a lot of it. And then the baby slowly eats spicier foods until it grows up. So no one's born able to eat really spicy food. It's like a matter of getting used to it. Seems like white people don't want to go through that process of getting used to it. I wonder why they refuse. Do they associate it with barbaric behavior or something? And I know some white people who really like spicy food, so I'm not saying this is true of all white people, but a lot of them don't like spicy food. And they refuse to accustom themselves to it. Most foods are acquired tastes, if you think about it. When you're a kid, your palate is really small and you eat just the most basic stuff, and then you slowly widen it, right? But some people don't do that. They just keep eating like a child their entire lives. I don't know, maybe spicy food is the gateway to opening your mind, man. It's kind of like taking acid or shrooms, It's like expanding your mind, man. Do it. Eat some spicy food because it's good for you. And I think you'll like it once you get used to it. And that is the message I'm going to end this episode on. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.